The Supremes Then and Now. The Supremes were an American female singing group and a premier act of Motown Records during the 1960s. Founded as the Primettes in Detroit, Michigan, in 1959, the Supremes were the most commercially successful of Motown's acts. Florence Ballard, Mary Wilson, Diana Ross, and Betty McGlown, the original group, were all from the Brewster-Douglass public housing project in Detroit. Barbara Martin replaced McGlown in 1960, and the group signed with Motown the following year as the Supremes. Martin left the act in early 1962, and Ross, Ballard, and Wilson carried on as a trio. In this video we are going to focus on the Supremes Then and Now. On our channel we feature such videos. Remember to like, comment and subscribe to our channel for such. Diana Ross. Diana Ross, born March 26, 1944, is an American singer and actress. She rose to fame as the lead singer of the vocal group The Supremes. Following departure from the Supremes in 1970, Ross embarked on a successful solo career in music, film, television, and on stage. Since her solo career began in 1970, Ross has released 25 studio albums, numerous singles, and compilations that have sold more than 100 million records worldwide. Ross has also achieved mainstream success and recognition as an actor. She portrayed Billie Holiday in the film Lady Sings the Blues, 1972. She also starred in two other feature films, Mahogany, 1975, and The Wiz, 1978, and later appeared in the television films Out of Darkness, 1994. Now Ross still releases albums and performs. Ross released her 25th studio album Thank You in November 2021. It's her first original material since 1999's Every Day is a New Day. On June 10, 2022, Ross kicked off the UK leg of her Thank You tour at Cardiff Castle. On June 26, 2022, Ross appeared live on the Pyramid stage at the Glastonbury Festival. She is 78 years old. Mary Wilson. Mary Wilson, born March 6, 1944, was an American singer. She gained worldwide recognition as a founding member of the Supremes, the most successful Motown act of the 1960s and the best-charting female group in U.S. chart history. The group disbanded following Wilson's own departure in 1977. Throughout the mid-1980s, Wilson focused on performances in musical theater productions, including Beehive, Dancing in the Streets, and Supreme Soul. Wilson later became a New York Times best-selling author in 1986 with the release of her first autobiography, Dream Girl, My Life as a Supreme, which set records for sales in its genre, and later for the autobiography Supreme Faith, Someday We'll Be Together. On August 15, 2019, Wilson published her fourth book, Supreme Glamour with co-author Mark Bigo. Continuing a successful career as a concert performer in Las Vegas, Wilson also worked in activism, fighting to pass truth in music advertising bills and donating to various charities. On February 8, 2021, Wilson died in her sleep from hypertensive atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease at her home in Henderson, Nevada, a suburb of Las Vegas, at the age of 76. Florence Ballard. Florence Glenda Chapman, born June 30, 1943, was an American singer and a founding member of the Motown vocal female group The Supremes. She sang on 16 top 40 singles with the group, including 10 #1 hits. After being removed from the Supremes in 1967, Ballard tried an unsuccessful solo career with ABC Records before she was dropped from the label at the end of the decade. Ballard struggled with alcoholism, depression, and poverty for 3 years. She was making an attempt at a musical comeback when she died of a heart attack in February 1976 at the age of 32. Barbara Martin. Barbara Diane Martin Richardson, born June 16, 1943, was an American singer, best known as one of the original members of Motown group The Supremes. After Betty McGlown left the Primettes due to her upcoming nuptials, Martin replaced her in the group in 1960. They signed a recording contract with Motown founder Berry Gordy on January 15, 1961, as The Supremes, a name that Ballard had chosen. While recording a handful of early singles, none of which became hits, Martin, Wilson, Ross, and Ballard worked as studio backing singers, providing vocals and rhythmic effects, such as hand claps, for Motown's leading groups. In October 1961, Martin became pregnant. Her husband supported her decision to stay in the group, but she left in the early spring of 1962, leaving Ross, Wilson, and Ballard as a trio. After leaving the group, Martin eventually earned a degree in psychology and worked in mental health. Out of respect for Diana Ross and Mary Wilson, she never spoke publicly about her tenure with the Primettes/Supremes. exception of one interview she gave in 2009 for the 2010 release of Meet the Supremes, Expanded Edition. Martin died in March 2020 at the age of 76. Betty McGlown. Betty McGlown Travis, born June 30, 1941, was an American singer, a member of the Primettes, later better known as the Supremes. On Lupin Records, McGlown sang backing vocals for Mary Wilson on Pretty Baby, and backing vocals for Diana Ross on Tears of Sorrow. These became the only known recordings of McGlown, although her voice does not stand out by itself in either song. While all four members sang lead on stage, it is only the other three members who ever had leads on studio recordings. McGlown eventually became Mrs. Betty Travis and left the Primettes in 1960 to concentrate on her new marriage. She was replaced by Barbara Martin the same year. Betty McGlown Travis died of diabetes in January 2008 at Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak, Michigan, at the age of 66. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification button. See you on the next video.